Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the NewWestOrder podcast. Back with another special edition. As you see, we live on location in Las Vegas. Beautiful scenery. I'll show y'all a little bit more of that in a second. But I got a special guest here. I'm gonna let him introduce himself and I'll say what he want to say, and then we're gonna get started.
Shit, this is TQron, the 808 representative, man. Coming straight to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, my new home. Everybody know I'm from Hawaii, but the last 5 years or so, this has been the turf, you know what I'm saying? So I'm 808 all day, but it's 702. That's what it's about right now, you know what I'm saying? Standing here with my man, NewWestOrder podcast. He told me to come through for a second, say a little something, so I'm here, you know what I'm saying? What you got for me, my brother?
What up, man? Thank you for coming to the show, man. First of all, I want to let everybody know, that you, I want to give them a little bit about your background, like, let people know where you're from and how you arrived here, because, they might not even know. They see we both here right here chilling, coming to them live from Vegas, but they might not know your journey to Vegas.
Origins,
you know what I'm saying?
The origins, I feel you.
So let them know that journey, man.
I mean, like I said, for the last 5 years, I've been right here in beautiful Sin City, Las Vegas, Nevada, you know what I'm saying? Made this my home after about 30 years in Hawaii. I'm born and raised in Honolulu, Hawaii, you know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers don't even realize that about Hawaii. They got a scene out there, and I've been doing it for so long over there, man. My first show was on my 22nd birthday, you know what I'm saying? We're talking back in 2005, in September of 2005, and ever since then I've been doing things, you know what I'm saying? And now, they call me an OG in the game, 35 years old, you know what I'm saying? So, it's been a long road, you know what I'm saying? But Hawaii's a very interesting spot as far as the demographics, the atmosphere, the energy of the scene is a lot different than what you'll find anywhere in the States, you know what I'm saying? Because they a small little speck in the Pacific Ocean, you know what I'm saying? Like literally the size of a fucking quarter on the map, you feel me? So,
wow, so Hawaii's small, y'all.
Hawaii, but they got 2 million people though, you know what I'm saying? And the interest,
got economy going on.
Oh man, that economy's fucked up, bro. That's why that last mixtape that I dropped with your man Crooked Eye, you know what I'm saying? Our brother
Crooked Eye.
Our big bro Crooked Eye, man, in 2015 it was called Paradise Ugly. The reason I call it Paradise Ugly is because of the type of gentrification that's happening, man. If you ask me, the prices are so high. I mean, the cost of living is fucked up. A gallon of milk averaging about $8.
Wow, a gallon of milk in Hawaii is $8.
My man, you and I can both go to the Walmart right now and it's about $2.24. So we can get 4 of them motherfuckers and they getting 1 for the same price.
Crazy. In the United States, they charging people that kind of money.
It's sad, man. I mean, let's not talk about, they don't have no fucking such thing as dollar stores in Hawaii. You know what I'm saying? Nah.
Wow.
We in downtown Las Vegas, Nevada, where you can literally go about 3 blocks down the way, and although some people might look down upon a dollar store as like, oh, they got garbage, man. They got like them garbage stores too and shit. But you gotta know which ones to go to. Motherfuckers can get actual fucking produce, real motherfucking like, it don't matter what the fuck, man. From bread to goddamn sodas and shit like that. So for $20, a broke motherfucker could go in and literally eat, for a whole week. You know what I'm saying?
Vegas.
For $20. You go in to a supermarket, like I said, the milk is for $8. You got some kids that want some bologna sandwiches for their lunch or something when they going to school. The bread will cost you $4.50. Alright, so we up to about $12.50 now. And then you got the lunch meat that's gonna cost you about another $4. So we going on about what, $16.50 now. And goddamn, you got some cheese for about $4, $3 average, you know what I'm saying? Depending on the brand that you're getting. And motherfuckers trying to get the shittiest brand out there. Like, it's crazy, bro. Like, it's murder. Like, I couldn't stand it no more. I got love for Hawaii, but not the government, bro. Not the people that run everything. Not the puppet masters, man. Fuck that shit. I couldn't do it. That's Paradise Ugly, bro. They're killing everybody.
So yeah, now I see what you're saying with you titled your album because of what the conditions you just described.
The conditions, and then what does that do? It leads to people own craziness. You know what I'm saying? I mean, from the drugs, we all know, you know, meth is a huge issue. Ice is an epidemic out there in Hawaii, my G. Like, you don't, like, it's crazy. It's big in Vegas too.
Right.
It's more magnified over there because it's such a small little, you know what I'm saying? They had a motherfucking special. I remember several years ago, it was like this documentary on how ICE is fucking up the whole motherfucking state. Wow. And they stopped everything around 6:30. They aired it, so every channel, local channel, stopped their regular programming and aired that shit. That's how big of a fucking impact ICE has made on that motherfucking island. And it's and people are fucking they broke. They homeless out there. They got over 10,000 homeless.
Crazy.
Over 10,000 homeless on the island, bro. And that's just the ones accounted for. Not to mention the ones that aren't. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. Everybody
do y'all research on Hawaii. We're going to give y'all some more information about Hawaii as we go along in the show too, though. But it's kind of crazy that, you know, it's like that over there, you know, because we look at it as paradise on the other 48
always,
states. You know,
yeah, that's the whole thing. Like, cats don't see that flip side.
It might be a certain section, maybe
yeah.
Beach that's, you know, paradise, I guess.
Man, you know, when you go to Waikiki, you know, where the several miles long hotels and beaches and shit, like, that's nice. You know what I'm saying? And I believe it or not, I did a lot of my shows in Waikiki until they all got shut down. Like, a lot of the clubs out there got shut the fuck down. The economy's fucked up. People don't really be going to shows out there like that.
That brings me to the next transition. To, like, 'cause I wanted to ask you give us what's going on with the hip hop scene in Hawaii and what you was just talking about. What were you doing in Hawaii? And you know, tell us how you got to Vegas.
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Like, personally, I never, I don't keep up on it too much anymore since I moved.
Right.
So I can't really speak on it too much. Shout out to everybody that's still in the game. You know what I'm saying? My brothers out there. You know, Joe Kerr, my man Jick. You know what I'm saying? We used to have a group called the Hammer Brothers and shit. My man Creed Chameleon still out there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? They got a lot of small collectives out there that are still doing their thing. Shout out to you. I ain't gonna drop no names though. You know what I'm saying? Don't need to get no promo to nobody. That's in my past life. Now everybody try to hit me up like, oh yeah, you know, when you gonna come back, bros? I've been. Last time they saw me doing shows was on tour.
And prices in Hawaii, I'd probably be like, never.
It ain't even that. I got so much access to so many other things now. I was just on tour a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now. We hitting the 2-year anniversary. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could have never done that type of shit being in Hawaii because promoters don't want to book somebody that's like not major famous and fly them out. It's $700 each way, you know. I mean, well, not each way, but for a round trip.
To perform outside of Hawaii, it's gonna
promoter gonna have to pay a nice little ticket to get my ass out of Hawaii to anywhere. You know what I'm saying? But now that I'm centralized in Las Vegas, you see what I'm saying? Yeah. You could take a plane, a train, a car, anything. You know, when you
probably only so many shows you can do on the island.
Man, and the thing is, I used to make them shows happen.
So many venues.
Yeah, and that's why I had to make them shows happen because even when shows was going on, I was nobody in the game. So I used to come up to the other artists and be like, yo, how do I get on? And nobody trying to help me. I used to go to some of the other promoters and shit. Most of them wasn't trying to help me, but there was a couple of them. They saw some potential in me. So what I did, I partnered up, I tag teamed with them. I performed, I promoted, and eventually my shit grew so much, the branding and shit, the hustle, the marketing, you know what I'm saying? That other promoters started hitting me up, talking about, yo, Kron, we need to book you for this. We need to have you partner up for this. So at a point in my life around, I'd like to say between 2006 and 2009, I was doing anywhere from between 2 to 4 shows a week. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, it would scale back a little bit depending on the situation and the scene and the seasons or whatever, you know what I'm saying? And it'd be like 2 shows a month, 3 shows a month type of deal. But still, that money was coming in, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't just rapping, but I was promoting them shows. So I was making them shows happen and promoting them and putting myself on stage and giving other artists shine too. So if they wanted to open up for Crooked Eye or somebody or Twista, well, I never booked Crooked Eye in Hawaii. We're gonna do that one day for sure. We gotta take Crook out there. We talked about that a long time ago, but I've done shows out there with Twista. I booked him for the first time out there. Too Short. We did E40. We booked Yuck Mouth and Opio. That was an interesting little mix. You know, we did Keep the Sneak out there. St. Quinn. We did Dog Pound. Trina, numerous shows with DJ Drama, DJ Smalls, DJ Premier.
Wow.
Yeah, I could go on and on. Y'all could look it up. You know what I'm saying? Just Google TQron, T-Q-R-O-N. I hate using that term Google, but just do your research. Let's be a little more gentler with that request. Just do your research. You ain't gotta do that.
That's what's up though. There. So as you see, TQron was doing a lot of great things in Hawaii, and then give us how you transitioned to Vegas, because you chose the perfect city actually, based on what you already was doing in Hawaii.
Yeah, it's a perfect city because, you know, first and foremost, the weather is so similar to it. Of course, you ain't got the beach. It's the extreme opposite. It's the desert. It's dry heat versus the humidity all the time. But, I mean, I traded, 80 degree weather in for, sometimes shit. It was 20-some degrees this past winter, you feel me? But you know what? It make a motherfucker tough. I say people in Vegas are some of the toughest when it comes to their bodies and shit, because we go through between 20 and 120. You dig?
Right.
All within one fucking year now. You know what I'm saying? With this extreme weather. That's another story, man. I think this weather's manipulated by the government. But anyways, the reason I made it to Vegas is because, like I was saying, I did all them shows and shit, and the economy was getting all fucked up, my G. Like, a lot of the venues was closing. So if you don't got a venue, or the more popular venues, they shutting down, where you gonna do your shows at? You know what I'm saying?
So you're saying the economy got so bad that it's only one
Club
island,
owners,
but then venues
club owners couldn't sustain. You know what I'm saying? It's a high out there. You know what I'm saying? They had to shut down. So if you don't have a proper venue to do a show at, motherfuckers ain't coming. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, like the establishments that were there, they're real selective. I'm not gonna use any more of a harsher term or anything like that. I don't want to call them racist or nothing. I'll just say they're selective. You know what I'm saying? But we all know, they're selective of who they work with. You know what I'm saying? You have to be of a certain ethnicity, and me being Pakistani, I don't fit the fucking, script for anybody out there. So I had to push my way in. You know what I'm saying? And it is what it is. So after a certain while, man, I couldn't make no money doing this shit no more, man. And me and you both know, man, like Crook know, independent artists, you gotta have that financial backing, that investment, or you gotta have it yourself somehow, whatever, by any means necessary. So, I said, you know what, I'm gonna quit while I'm ahead. I'm 30 years old, time to leave. I had some good people that I know that had a dope ass spot out here in the nice suburb area, Summerlin and shit on the west side. We just kind of, I made that my little home base for a minute, you know what I'm saying? And now I live in beautiful downtown Las Vegas. It's a lot more my speed, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to my boy Tim Berry from Forefather Entertainment, you know what I'm saying? He's the one that I started doing these shows with and shit. And then just progressively throughout the decade, 12, 13 years later, man, I'm standing right here, you know what I'm saying?
Let me ask you this, man. So since you've been to Vegas, let's talk about a couple of things you've done since you've been here. I know you did an album, which is, titled after the state that you came from, Hawaii. So,
right.
So tell them how you came up with how you did the Paradise Ugly project, and let them know who hosted it.
Yeah.
Greatest rappers ever.
One of the greatest rappers ever. So the thing is, I started when I came to Vegas, right? I had this collection of music that I recorded out there, and then I started kind of doing some things out here as well. But when I first came in 2014, I was actually on my transition out of my alcoholic phase. You know what I'm saying? Like, shout out to my brothers, the alcoholics, but me personally, I am an alcoholic, but I'm sober for the last 4.5+ years now, almost 5 years. But going just towards the end of my alcoholic run, I was having crazy thoughts, you know what I'm saying? That's one of the reasons I had to stop. Because, the walls were closing in on me, man. I was one of the biggest names in Hawaii. So, when you got one of the biggest, reputations out there, everybody trying to shoot you down, you got your love, but you got a lot of hate too, you know what I'm saying? And motherfuckers like me, because of the alcohol, I was focusing on the negative, you feel me?
Right.
So I had to escape. I had to just kind of, in the desert, you know what I'm saying? Like, deserted myself and just shut myself out from everything, you know what I'm saying? I rebuilt. So during that rebuilding process, I was like, you know what? I got all this music and shit, and I got all these features with all these dope legends in the game. I don't really want to do the regular mixtape where another DJ hosts it. I want to have a rapper host that. So I that's how that Crooked Eye thing started. So I sat there on Twitter one day, and you know, I network heavy. So I was networking and talking to a couple of people from COB, including JC. So JC is the key. So me and him was connecting on Twitter heavy. JC the Great, shout out, my man. You know what I'm saying? If it wasn't for him, none of that would have happened. So anyways, you know, I linked with JC, talked to him, and he presented the idea to Crooked Eye, tell me to send some music. He opened his ear to me and opened his mind to listening to TQron. He's like, yo, he's dope. Let's fuck with it. You know what I'm saying? And long story short, he gave me the whole cosign. You know what I'm saying? That's Paradise Ugly. Go check it out. It's still out there.
Yeah, check out Paradise Ugly featuring King Crooked.
Yep. Got a lot of nice features on there. I got my man Daz Dillinger on there. We got production from Havoc or Mob Deep on there. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of features, my man. Y'all gotta check it out.
So let's talk about the tour that you did. Tell everybody about you went on a 15-city tour with some legends in the hip hop game from the West Coast.
Man, that was one of the best times of my life, man. Being from a small little island, like I said, it's the size of a quarter on a map. Maybe not even a quarter. It depends on which currency you're talking about. You know what I'm saying? But real shit, that was the best time of my life because he just mentioned 15 cities I've never been to. Coming from Hawaii, going to Las Vegas and shit, the only thing that enabled me to travel was my music. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, I got the opportunity to travel with legends in the game, the Alcoholics. Shout out to my man Tash, who I have a song with. The single's called Bathroom Stalls. If you check it out, it's all over. You know what I'm saying? iTunes, the Spotifys, the Amazons. Go check it out. My man J. Rowe and E. Swift, the mind, the producer, man. E. Swift, man. Love you, my dog. It was because of them that I was given the opportunity to actually realize my dream. The biggest dream I ever had, the biggest goal I ever had was to do exactly what you just mentioned, you know what I'm saying? Was to tour with some legends in the game and open up and you know, for the greats in cities that I've never been to and be able to see areas I may never travel to if it wasn't for rap, you know what I'm saying? And that's why I'm so grateful to hip hop, even to this day, you know what I'm saying? That was a wonderful experience. I had so many new fans that I gathered. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all you beautiful females on the road too, man. You remember who you are. I actually picked up a couple of them too, man. Bought them a Vegas. Well, yeah, you know.
Yeah, was out there on the tour, huh?
Yeah.
That's what's up, though. So, like you said, he got the song with Tash called Bathroom Stalls. So y'all check that out.
Check that out, yeah.
So I think it's like the future of hip hop. I think it's grateful.
Woo. Boy,
5 years, where do you see hip hop?
Now, I don't see it going anywhere great as far as the mainstream goes. Does that make any sense?
Yes.
I don't see it going anywhere great as far as the mainstream goes because the mainstream oftentimes is determined by people that are between the ages of like literally now 10 to between fucking what?
That's interesting.
Maybe 30 years old. Why?
Yeah.
Because 9-year-olds have fucking cameras and iPhones and shit like that, and they got internet social media accounts. They on YouTube.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look at Little B's followers. Little B's followers got kids and shit. And they the motherfuckers that, you know what I'm saying? Like, they enable people like him and Tekashi 6ix9ine and all these other new, you know, the Trippy Reds and all. These kids that's enabling them. You and
So
I
they
are.
can have a couple of generations as they fans.
You know what I'm saying? That's the whole point. And the problem is,
starting out. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly, and they start out with garbage ass music. They don't have the foundations like we had before us.
They starting off with the parent and their child listening to the same artist.
In a generation that thinks that, and no disrespect to Triple X Tentacion, but a generation that thinks that Triple X Tentacion passing was a similarity to Tupac. I can't. What are we fighting against? You know what I'm saying? Now, real hip-hop artists are fighting their own battles. They're creating their own lanes. They're creating their own waves. They're creating their own channels. They're creating their own podcasts, their own platforms. That's what they got to do. They got to find these other little avenues because the mainstream, they're condoning fuckery. And they're only advertising fuckery, my G. So it's
That's what
hard.
you're saying right there.
You know what I'm saying? So shout out to the independent grinders and the thinkers. You know what I'm saying? It's like Joe Budden was saying, you know, and I love Slaughterhouse, and that's one of the reasons I even reached out to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? One day y'all got to do another album together. Period. Come on, big bro. Come on, man. And I ain't met the, you know, I don't know Joel and Royce personally, but please, brothers, do it.
Word up, we need another album.
Please, you know what I'm saying?